Have you gotten into human design? And when you did you look up your type to see if you were a manifester? And when you found out you weren't, it made you disappointed because you felt like you didn't get the good type? Well, I'm going to be explaining in this video why those perceptions that people have about manifestors are completely incorrect, why there are so many different things you need to know and ways to look at any tool set like human design, and particularly the manifestor type point. My name is Adam. Before we get started, I just want to let you know if you need any extra assistance on your healing journey or spiritual path, I'm doing a few free breakthrough calls. There's a link pinned in the comment section below. So breakthrough call, it's just a 30-minute call where we get on Zoom and I just kind of help you go over your vision for your life, for you, look at what you're wanting to create and mainly where you're getting blocked and stuck that's preventing it from happening. And then I help you troubleshoot some options that you have to, get into your highest timeline. Okay, now I love human design. It's amazing. But like all forms and tools and schools of thought, it can become an ideology and it can become dogmatic. That is what has happened in many circles. Now, that's not human design's fault. That's humanity's. I don't want to say it's humanity's fault because it's not really about blaming, but it is about identifying where the issue is. Okay, now with anything, there are a million different ways to perceive something. And ultimately, it comes down to you. All right. So human design was meant and is meant to just simply be a tool to help you get some more clarity on how your energy expresses itself, how you can, more successfully make decisions, and to look at a bit of a blueprint as far as to like what your soul set up before the life, as far as what your lessons are, where you want to focus, where not to. Okay. Now, anytime you do a reading with somebody who does something like this, you want to be doing a reading with someone who can connect to the higher part of yourself, because any chart in anything can be interpreted in a bazillion different ways. So you want someone that can feel what it is that your higher self wants you to hear and know, because it can be taken however it could be taken, and listen to that. That's just a quick caveat. Okay, but let's start here with manifestors. So a lot of people don't really know much about human design. Okay, so what they do is they will look up their type only, which is a very limited part of who you are, and they'll see that they're not a manifestor because they have this perception that manifestor means manifest what you want in life, as if the other types don't, or if that's what the manifestor does. Crap. It's all crap. Okay, manifestor in human design is more how the soul operates on the personality level of this particular experience. And manifestors have more energy and ability to just state like, this is what I want and I'm going to go out and get it through taking action. Through taking action without having to wait for a sign or a signal or anything like that. That does not mean they manifest what they want and you don't. It does not mean that manifestors are higher souls or more advanced than others, because they're not. I started just looking at different people's charts, people that I looked up to, and I found that, okay, John Lennon was just a generator, because most people are like, oh, wait, just a generator? John Lennon was just a generator. Robin Williams was just a generator. Bill Hicks was just a generator. I think Alan Watts was just a generator. There's a whole bunch of people that were absolutely brilliant and made an inconceivably indelible mark on humanity that were just generators. And one of the reasons I think of this is because a lot of their chart, if you know human design, was open, the ones that I mentioned. So they had a lot of undefined centers, and someone might say that, well, then they don't have a consistent flow of this, or they don't have a consistent use of their voice. And again, some of the people I mentioned had open throats and had the most brilliant, effective voices in the world. And why is that? Because this is my theory only, but it's because of the undefined channels and the openness, they were able to connect to something greater than themselves, i.e. their soul, their higher self. And that's what came through. That's what came through. And John Lennon was a voice that voiced many, pretty much was a voice of the collective at his time. So he was able to connect to the collective and to his own individuation and channel that. Did he do it consistently? Yeah. Yeah, he did it consistently enough to have been on like top for a couple decades of his life as a voice. Now that doesn't mean if you have defined centers that you can't connect to your soul or your higher self either. Doesn't mean that. It might mean that you have a particular way of expressing yourself in this life, or it could mean that once you connect to your soul and higher self, it can be more fluid. That's just on the personality plane only until you start to expand into greater levels of awareness. Anything can be transcended and anything can be changed, but the only way to do that is to first embrace the totality of everything that is, learn all the lessons so that you can connect deeper and deeper and deeper to your own spirit, and then, anything's possible. So again, my main point in this video is stop forming stop forming rigid perspectives about what any of these things mean, because we don't know what they mean. Okay? People will then, with the manifestor thing, if you're a generator, you're manifesting. You're a manifestor. You manifest the life that you want. You just have a slightly different style that might work for you, that does kind of work for you. You have to maybe wait a little bit more until you see some notification or hint coming from your energy field as a prompt through somebody or your environment that what that basically means is it's time for you. So you have to maybe wait and surrender a little bit more. Now, is waiting and surrendering an aspect of a less advanced soul? Because this is how we take it. We see manifestor, oh, I'm just a generator. That means I'm not advanced. It's different for everyone. You have no idea why your soul, and you can ask, but why a particular soul will choose a particular type. It's a vehicle. It's a lesson plan. It's something you're working on. There's no better or worse. The projectors are not here to lead everybody out of the darkness, and the generators are just the, slave workhorses that are going to do what they tell them. It doesn't mean that you can't gain benefit from listening to a projector, or that projectors aren't here, generally, majoritatively to sort of lead and guide energy. There's truth to that, but watch what belief systems you form from anything, okay? Maybe, going back to my point about who's more advanced, a lot of manifestors, or some manifestors, are younger souls, and their ego is being given more reign. So maybe, because they're not as advanced, they're allowed to just be like, oh, I want to do this, and they get to go do it, because their soul is allowing their ego to just explore what it is that they want, what it is that they want to do, and they can just kind of create whatever they want in that life to learn from it. Maybe as a generator, you're a more advanced soul, and there really is no like who's more advanced. It's a horrible thing to fall into. I'm just making a point that you're not less than. That's really my only point here. But maybe you're an advanced soul, and you need to get your ego out of the way. And you need to learn to surrender and wait, because there's a higher plan for you that's part of, you manifesting, that's bigger. Again, John Lennon, Robin Williams, Alan Watts, Bill Hicks. And there's plenty more just generators. There's no one thing that's better than the other. So if you found out you're not a manifestor, doesn't mean you don't manifest, doesn't mean you don't create your own reality. It means there's a slightly different style to it, okay? I will be doing more videos on human design and how to integrate it into helping you find your purpose, find your gifts, and some of the hang-ups that I see that people, get stuck on. But the last thing I want to say is never fully listen to anything if it doesn't feel right. There's a lot of like, oh, I can't do that, but I want to do it because it's my not self. You don't know. First off, I will say I got into human design a couple years ago, and I noticed immediately that there was a lot of truth, but it didn't feel all the way right, because I had been working through like my soul's journey and history for many, many years, and I knew myself really well on many different levels. And there were so many things in the basic human design chart that weren't really answered, even though I did see there was a lot of truth to it. And then I found cosmic human design, because cosmic human design is based more on astronomical astrology, so it's where the stars and planets are actually when you're born, not where they were 2,000 years ago. And that resonated like tenfold, but I'm not saying the other one didn't. And my theory on that is because the basic human design is based on tropical astrology, which is, in my take on it, it's kind of matrix astrology. Now, that doesn't mean that you disavow it or that it's wrong or it's bad. It's not. You never disavow anything. The way through anything is to embrace it, learn the lessons that you're meant to learn from it, and then you can level up. That's why some people are getting into cosmic human design and they're like, I didn't see this at first, but it deeply resonates with me now. Other people aren't ready for it because maybe they haven't gone through the other one enough or worked through it enough, or maybe they don't need you because that one actually resonates more with their soul than the cosmic human design. My point is, it's different for everybody. Listen to your own intuition. If you feel it in your heart and you feel it in your solar plexus and you feel a strong, like, yes, I know this is correct for me, listen to it. Always. Don't listen to what anyone tells you. Anyway, I hope that helps. My name's Adam. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, revelations, breakthroughs. I always love to hear everybody's feedback, and I very much appreciate anybody who watched this video. I'll be doing a lot more of these in the future. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.